Good evening and welcome to Sunset News on this beautiful Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather, and sports. I am Glendora Shipura. Getting into our top stories, the Namibia Green Hydrogen Program, in collaboration with the Hyaluron Oshivela project, shared an update on the development of the project during a site visit yesterday. Now, the co-founder of Hyaluron, Johannes Michael, says it is the world's first green production of iron, with phase 2 expected to start next year. Precious Ngitwanapo reports. Let's take a look.
Yeah, I welcome you to the Oshivela site. It's the world's first green production of iron. Today we've lifted in one of the key equipments and the last key equipment, the electrolyzer, and we are very honored to have you here for this.
No, absolutely. Look, the few words I would really love to say is that today, of course, we're here to celebrate what happens, in our view, when a government backs its own. Really, of course, our government had an idea and a vision, but really it was always the private sector that was going to deliver on that idea and that vision. And I hope by today, as you've walked through the construction site, you have seen the power of partnership. So, of course, Johannes has worked very well with some of his partners from abroad, like Stefan and others. But more importantly, he has worked with over 60 Namibian companies to deliver this site, to deliver a first of its kind in Namibia. And I think for us as government, it is such a privilege to be serving a population of young, industrious youth, capable SMEs that are building assets like this, and really an ecosystem that has allowed to deliver a vision, of course, of our late president, and something we're extremely proud of. And from what we understand, this is really just the beginning. Phase 2 is coming next year, 10 times as large.
Getting into our next story, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Peter Kashavivi, and the Member of Parliament, Shekero Tweya, were pleased to welcome Sheikh Abdullah bin Saud Al Talib to Namibia at the Tintin Palace this morning. Al Talib arrived yesterday and will spend the week exploring investment opportunities in the country. Augero Greg was there and gave in this report.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Thank you.
Welcome to our part of the world. Welcome to Namibia. Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. Please. How was the journey? Everything went well. You are welcome to our part of the world. This morning, I want to take you back many years into history. Professor,
yes, there are two translators.
Yeah.
There's one in Arabic and
Okay.
French and English. So whichever then the two of them can fill in.
Okay.
Yes.
Wonderful.
The initiative, part of the broader global #EU Beach Cleanup campaign and EU Green Diplomacy Weeks, went beyond merely collective waste. It spotlighted innovative approaches to tackling urban waste challenges, including the EU-funded Waste Buyback Center. This $42 million Namibian project, according to the EU, is transforming solid waste management in Windhoek by promoting recycling and converting waste into reusable materials. After the cleanup, participants planted 30 trees at the Havana High School in the Moses Harup constituency. The EU said this symbolic act reflects a commitment to combating climate change, aligning with Namibia's environmental priorities and global climate action discussions at COP29 in Azerbaijan. The initiative brought together a diverse range of partners, including embassies from Finland, France, Germany, Portugal, and Spain, alongside the International Relations Ministry. the City of Windhoek Wakapinia Environmental Education, Giraffe Conservation, the EU Youth Sounding Board, and Havana residents. The campaign went beyond waste collection, highlighting innovative solutions to urban waste management. The EU-funded Waste Buyback Centre, part of a €2.2 million project aimed at improving solid waste management in Windhoek, promotes recycling and the transformation of waste into reusable materials. The trees symbolize hope and long-term environmental stewardship, fostering sustainability for future generations, said the EU spokesperson Twaku Kayofa. Getting into our next story, one of two men told Rundu-based magistrate Mure Munalago during their plea proceedings last year that they had unknowingly obtained counterfeit driver's licenses from an unknown worker at Namibian Traffic Information System in Windhoek. Despite claiming ignorance, Samuel Ndara and Agustinus Kampiku were convicted of possessing a falsified certificate under the Road and Transport Act and sentenced to 9 months imprisonment in October last year. The duo have since appealed their conviction and sentencing to the Windhoek High Court, where the case will be heard by Judge Hosea Angula. They argue errors in recording admissions and failing to inform them of their right to remain silent and the implications of formal admissions. The appellants Ndara and Kampiku also claim the 9-month sentence is excessive, citing mitigating factors like being first-time offenders, employed, and breadwinners. The court document reads, State's response. The state represented by Taudago Havaseb filed their heads of argument on Tuesday this week. In the court document, Havaseb maintains that the magistrate complied with Section 115 of the Criminal Procedure Act by explaining the procedure to the duo. He added they chose to provide statements indicating the basis of their defense and did not object to their statements being recorded as formal admissions. The state defends the 9-month custodial sentence as appropriate, arguing that the seriousness of the offense, which involved an element of trust, warrants deterrence. Despite them being first-time offenders and breadwinners, it does not outweigh the gravity of the crime. RA warns against buying license and permits. The Roads Authority warns the public about scammers impersonating NATES officials using staff photos on WhatsApp to deceive and offer fake learner licenses for e-wallet payments. All NATES payments must be made in person at official offices, and the Roads Authority does not accept e-wallet or blue wallet transactions. You can read more on this story in the Namibian Sun tomorrow. That concludes our top stories. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our entertainment news.
As the holiday season draws near, ShopRite and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. Welcome at Santa's Wishlist. Follow the instructions to submit your drawing and letter to Santa. Step 1. Start by drawing a picture for Santa. And when you're done, just jot down a few details about yourself right next to it. Step 2. Scan the QR code and it will open up WhatsApp with a little message that says #ShopRiteSanta. Just send that message to Santa. Or if you like, you can also type #ShopRiteSanta into WhatsApp and send it to the number as indicated. Step 3. Follow the simple steps in the chatbot and submit your name and age. And most excitingly, the present you've picked from the list. Don't forget to include your physical address so Santa can find his way to you. Step 4. Once you've completed the previous steps, snap a photo of your drawing and your letter to Santa to submit your entry.
Now, remember, I'm looking forward to all the wonderful drawings and letters you'll be sending my way. See you soon, and keep spreading that holiday cheer. Ho, ho, ho!
Getting into our entertainment news, author Ron Swilling speaks at the launch of the Stoneman, Flynn and Friends in Kaukoland, a literary celebration paired with an evocative art exhibition featuring Jason Knott's photography and Jacquia Tarr's painting and charcoal drawings. The exhibition brings the book's narrative to life. The exhibition will run until Saturday, the 14th of December at Bell House Atelier and Galleria. Michael Kayonde gave in this report.
Picking up a piece of litter, saving a few drops of water, or not driving over a lichen. We can change the world step by step by starting with ourselves, and it all begins with love. I'd like to read the introduction of the book as Flint told it to me, to get you into the spirit of it. There is a place called Kaukoland. It is tucked into the Namib Desert in the far reaches of northwestern Namibia, like a well-kept secret. I heard tales about it from long-time travelers I met along the dusty roads of southern Africa. They told me how it is a magnificent expanse of arid land where few people live, where desert elephant follow dry riverbeds like highways, where lions roam and where sparkling constellations span the sky with a crystal clear clarity like nowhere else on earth.
The iconic Congolese singer Awilo Longomba's band and crew have arrived in Namibia for the highly anticipated Awilo Longomba live concert in Windhoek this Saturday, the 23rd of November at Independence Stadium. Ahead of the show, Awilo is scheduled for a meet and greet with the media tomorrow evening in Windhoek. Michael Kayonde gave in the report. That concludes our entertainment news. On the other side of the break, we take a look at our community talk.
ShopRite Namibia and Synergy Chatbot are delivering the Christmas spirit. This festive season, I've got a very special surprise just for you. My magical elves will be delivering gifts straight to your doorsteps. Grab your crayons or pencils and draw me a picture. Simply save the number on your phone and follow the on-screen prompts.
Getting into our community talk, Dr. Linford Rhodes, who submitted the petition to the Deputy Executive Director at the Office of the Prime Minister, Kawana Romanes, explained that the initial $28,100 million monthly allowance for medical interns has been reduced to $2,200 million, which they are still not receiving. Rita Kakekelo reports.
Of 2 to 3 years, with extensions available if the training is not completed within 3 years. However, it has become standard practice to extend internship after 2 years, leading to a significant reduction in allowance for those continuing their training into a 3rd year. With the monthly allowance dropping from 28,165 Namibian dollars to a rare minimum of 2,244, which they are currently still not receiving. Without any new contracts signed, 3rd-year interns are still required to work the same hours and perform the same duties. Our demand for this point, fair compensation for 3rd-year medical interns, along with transparency on the decision-making process and legal grounds for reducing their allowances without new contractual agreements. And our last point.
Getting into our economic news, Blue Earth Capital says it has committed $198 million in private credit funding to Salt Capital, which will use the funds to acquire Rhino Park Holdings and fund the expansion of the private hospital. The investment marks Blue Earth's first venture into healthcare and the issuance of its second sustainability-linked loan. According to head of private credit at Blue Earth, Amy Wang, the funding facilitates Rhino Park's acquisition by Salt Capital, a Southern Africa-focused private equity firm, and supports the hospital's expansion plans. Key initiatives include developing a state-of-the-art operating theater, for advanced surgical procedures, establishing a cutting-edge primary healthcare center, and introducing MRI imaging facilities. These upgrades are set to enhance the hospital's capacity and quality of care. Rhino Park, Namibia's second largest private hospital, is at the forefront of tackling critical healthcare issues such as maternal mortality and neonatal disorders. These conditions are among the most pressing health challenges facing the nation today, according to Rhino Park CEO Martin van Niekerk. Currently home to the largest obstetrics department in the country, Rhino Park is uniquely positioned to combat these issues and improve health outcomes. Niekerk further explained that beyond patient care, Rhino Park is committed to advancing Namibia's healthcare sector by offering nursing student placements and providing study loans to its staff, ensuring a sustainable pipeline of skilled health professionals. This funding will allow us to expand our facilities, invest in advanced medical technologies, and increase our capacity to serve our community. Our commitment to providing exceptional, caring, dignified, and affordable patient care to the people of Namibia remains unwavering, and this expansion will position us to better meet the growing needs of our patients and families in the years to come, he further stated. Let's take a look at our financial indicators. The Namibian dollar trades against the British pound at 23.11, against the euro at 19.24, against the US dollar at 18.23, 2 Namibian dollars and 52 cents against one Chinese yuan. On the commodities market, all major commodities went down, with Brent crude oil trading at 0.21%, going for $72.09 per barrel. In international news, Italian health workers strike over pay under investment. We get into this on the other side of the break. Getting into our international news, thousands of Italian doctors and nurses stayed at home on Wednesday to protest over their pay and conditions in the latest sign of malaise in the country's struggling health sector. Unions representing health workers say funds in the government's 2025 budget are insufficient for necessary hiring and salary increases, as Italy, like many European countries, has an aging population requiring rising levels of care. Italy spends about 6.2% of gross domestic product on its national health service, well below a European Union average of 6.8%, and health spending per capita is the lowest among the group of 7 wealthy democracies, according to data by Italian health think tank Gimbe. The 3 union bodies coordinating Wednesday's strike are now ASSOMED, Simo Fasmed, and Nursing Up said initial estimates showed up to 85% of workers had stayed at home, which should make people reflect on the unacceptable conditions in our hospitals and the reasons for our protest. A minimum level of essential health services is being maintained throughout the day. Health Minister Horacio Silasi said the government was willing, as we always have been, not only to meet the unions but to try to resolve some of the problems on the table. Pledges to boost the public health service in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic have not been kept, and a growing hospital waiting list force increasing numbers of Italians to turn to private clinics for treatment. The government's multi-year economic plan, published in October, envisages public health spending remaining broadly stable at 6.2% of GDP through 2027, underscoring the difficulties facing many Italian hospitals. The southern region of Calabria has signed a deal to draft in almost 500 medics from Cuba over 3 years to help overcome a severe staffing shortage. That concludes our international news. We now take a look at our weather predictions. The capital city can expect some showers with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 29 degrees Celsius, while Oshakati can also expect some showers with a minimum of 22 and a maximum of 27 degrees Celsius. Katima Mulilo can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 24 and a maximum of 39 degrees Celsius. Aranos can expect some showers with a minimum of 22 and a maximum of 34 degrees Celsius, while Swakopmund can expect partly cloudy conditions with a minimum of 15 and a maximum of 17 degrees Celsius. Rehoboth can also expect some showers with a minimum of 21 degrees Celsius and a maximum of 31 degrees Celsius. We'll now head over to the sports desk, proudly brought to you by Sports Rep.
Hello Sunset News viewers. In today's sports news brought to you by the Sports Rep Desk. The Senior African Squash Championship supported by Trasco kicked off in the capital at Wanderers in Pionierspark on Monday and will continue until Saturday 23 November. Jory Botha spoke to the Namibian coach and a Zimbabwean team member.
Hi, good day. Andrew Forrest, Namibian squash coach. Back at Wanderers, day 2 of the All Africa Championships. Our team is going to jump onto court now with our B side that's taking on Nigeria. We've decided to take a bit of a rest for our number 1 in the B side because it's a tough day with the playing of the 2 top seeded teams of the tournament straight after each other. So we decided we're going to give one of the boys a bit of a rest so that he's all ready to fire in his game this afternoon. Then with the A side, yesterday was a bit of a tough pill to swallow, playing against Zambia, which is an unbelievably strong team. Our number 1 boy, Max Inyala, had to come up against the Kundanji that just landed, so he was so fresh and ready to fire, which he did on all cylinders yesterday. But today we've got actually a bit more of a competitive side going into our Zimbabwe fixture, and then this evening we're playing against Uganda. We're really positive about the 2 fixtures we have today, so we've decided not to rest any of our players. We're going to go in all guns blazing for these fixtures. Then I'd just like to, on behalf of NSA and Namibian Squash, to say thanks to all our sponsors, Trasco that jumped on board, which is fantastic for squash in Namibia, having them back on board with us, Powerline Africa, and then of course to Novel Ford that's given us a courtesy vehicle to drive the players around that have traveled all the way over to Namibia to have come and expose themselves to the generosity of the Namibian community.
I'm standing here with Blessing, one of the Zimbabwe players, the number 1 from Zimbabwe. Blessing, you were on fire today against the Namibian number 1, Max. Tell us a little bit more about your game.
It was a good game, crucial game, because I think points-wise, it would determine who would be like 3 and 4. So yeah, we really wanted to go for it. I mean, I played well, and the rest of the team also played well. Yeah.
Like you said, not just you, or like I said, but your team also taking the Namibian A team 3-0. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the strategy was to try and get all the points, and unfortunately one of our teammates was sick, but he pulled through, so we were pretty happy about that. The conditions are pretty still rough for us, but I think I've adjusted well. So I mean, we try to play smart, not overheating, finding our length, and putting the ball short in when we can, yes.
And then, Blessing, our last question. Tell us, our viewers, a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Blessing Moati. I'm from Zimbabwe, currently based in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. I coach and play full-time in the Netherlands. Yeah, and I also play on the PSA World Tour, and I'm currently ranked 283.
Thank you, Blessing. And then we're out.
And with that, we've come to the end of the broadcast. Do make sure you join Sunset News on Facebook, on all the NMH platforms on weekdays, as well as on our website, oneup2.com. Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every Monday to Thursday from 7:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. I am Glenora Shipura, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.